Hello everyone, welcome to a journey to discover the Philippines, the kingdom of more than 7,641 islands, where nature carves masterpieces from magnificent waterfalls to legendary mountains. Culture is as vibrant as a tropical sunrise, and people light up every horizon with warm hearts. The Philippines is more than 300,000 square kilometers of land and sea, but a symphony of Pagsanjan Falls, Higantes Festival, Sour Sinigang, and broom makers in Samar. We will dive into Bataha, trek in Mount Tarak, enjoy lechon in Cebu, and discover Lumban embroidery in Laguna. From Caramon Island to the Baluart ruins, from day-and-day music to Bangkarohan Market, from whale conservation in Bohol to life with the Tpoli people in South Cotabato, the Philippines is an invitation to adventure through a world where every moment is a gem. With over 110 million people and 175 ethnic groups, this island nation is a melting pot of nature, culture, and history. Are you ready to immerse yourself in this archipelago epic? Like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and leave a comment about what you're most curious about in the Philippines. Let's go! Imagine yourself standing in front of Pagsanjan Falls in Laguna, a natural wonder with turquoise water cascading 120 meters over 3 limestone cliffs, designated a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. You can raft through the 7-kilometer gorge, swim in the cool pools, or hike through the jungle to see more than 300 species of wild orchids. Pagsanjan Falls attracts more than 200,000 visitors a year, contributing 1.2 billion pesos to the local economy. Then head to Mount Tarak in Bataan, a 1,288-meter-high mountain with rainforest and rugged cliffs, where you can trek the Papaya Trail, camp by the Anito Stream, or listen to the Ita people tell the legend of the mountain god Tarak. In Surigao del Norte, Siargao National Park protects more than 283,000 hectares of mangroves and lagoons, home to saltwater crocodiles and starlings. You can SUP through Sugba Lagoon, watch pygmy whales, or participate in a rain-praying ritual. According to statistics, the Philippines has more than 2,000 waterfalls and 70 mountains over 1,000 meters, creating a majestic natural picture. Organizations such as Pagsanjan Eco-Protectors protect more than 15,000 hectares of forest, organizing cleanups, and planting more than 50,000 trees each year. Philippine nature is an endless song, from Pagsanjan to Siargao, inviting you to explore the land of thousands of islands. Do you want to paddle in Pagsanjan or trek in Tarak? The Philippines is a treasure trove of destinations that captivate every traveler, from the sea to ancient heritage. Head to Tabataha Reefs, Palawan, a UNESCO World Heritage Site with the world's third-largest barrier reef, spanning 97,000 hectares, where you can scuba dive among more than 600 species of fish, 360 species of coral, and whale sharks. You can also join a 7-day live-aboard boat tour, learn about coral conservation, or stay in a floating hut. Tabataha welcomes more than 10,000 divers each year, contributing 500 million pesos to conservation. Then explore Caramon, Cameron Sur, an archipelago with more than 20 white sand beaches and limestone cliffs, made famous by the show Survivor. You can hike to Gata Cave, kayak through Matukad Island, or hear the legend of the Caramon Ferry. In Ilocos Norte, Paoe is home to the Suba Sand Dunes and the 17th-century Paoe Church, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can go sandboarding, bike through Suba Village, or learn how to make bagnet sauce. The Philippines has more than 2,000 tourist attractions, employing 5.7 million people. Organizations like Tabataha Conservation protect more than 1,000 species of marine life, organize cleanups, and educate communities. Want to dive into Bataha or hike in Caramon? The Philippines is a paradise for adventurers, where nature challenges and inspires. In Quezon, 2,170-meter-high Mount Banahaw is a trekking destination, with trails through mossy forests and hot springs. Camp by Dagum Falls, see hornbills, or hear the legend of the Banahaw god. Banahaw attracts more than 50,000 climbers each year and is a spiritual sanctuary, Then head to Palawan, on Busuanga Island, where you can cliff jump off Calawat's 15-meter-high cliffs, kayak across Coron Bay, or scuba dive past Japanese shipwrecks. Stay in a floating house and stargaze. In Agusan del Sur, the 20-kilometer-long Marsh de Wada is a mangrove maze filled with crocodiles and herons. Take a boat tour, abseil through ancient trees, or swim in the dark lagoon. Organizations like Banahaw Adventure Tours promote sustainable tourism, supporting more than 1,000 families. The Philippines has more than 1,500 adventure spots, generating 10 billion pesos in revenue. Want to climb Banahaw or go cliff jumping in Busuanga? Community-based tourism in the Philippines is a journey into the heart of culture, where people open their homes, share their stories and ways of life. In South Cotabato, the Tpoli village of Lake Cebu invites you to harvest rice, learn to make tnalik fabric from a dream, or play the hegilong with bird motifs. You can stay in a stilt house, cook seslong, grill fish in banana leaves, and hear the legend of the lake god Lemlene. The Tpoli community produces more than 5,000 meters of tnalik fabric each year, exporting it to Europe. Then in Camarines Norte, the Parcale community of Vinzons runs artisanal gold mining tours, teaching you to pan for gold in the river or make silver bracelets. You can camp on Labo Beach, participate in a mountain worship ceremony. In La Union, the village of San Juan organizes surfing tours, where you can learn to make a surfboard, hike through rice paddies, or enjoy kilawan, raw fish pickled in vinegar. Projects like Tpoli Homestay support over 3,000 households, preserving culture and the environment. Community-based tourism in the Philippines is about sharing, from Lake Cebu to San Juan, where you become part of a Filipino family. Would you rather weave tnalik in South Cotabato or pan for gold in Camarines? Filipino culture is a vibrant tapestry of indigenous traditions, colonial legacy, and Asian influences, telling the stories of the land and its people. Immerse yourself in the Higantes Festival in Angono, Rizal, in November, when giant 4-meter-tall statues parade through the streets accompanied by folk dancing and more than 500 craft stalls. Take a papier-mâché workshop, learn the Pandango sa Sambalilo dance, or enjoy Suman sa Lihia, a sweet rice cake. The festival attracts more than 150,000 visitors and generates 1 billion pesos in revenue. Then head to Laguna, where the Lumban weavers of Santa Cruz create floral and bird-patterned fabrics used to make barongs. Take an embroidery class, learn how to apply gold thread, or hear the legend of the goddess Lumban. In Cotabato, the Bagobo Cultural Village in Quitapuan recreates a Clauda stilt house with snake carvings, where you can learn to play the hegilong, participate in a land ritual, or weave a nabal. Filipino culture is home to more than 1,500 festivals and 300 crafts, which are the soul of the archipelago. Want to make statues in Angono or embroider lumban in Laguna? Filipino cuisine is a symphony of tastes, where the sea, the countryside, and heritage come together to create dishes that tell stories. Try sinigang in Pampanga, a sour soup with shrimp, tamarind, and water spinach, cooked in a clay pot to preserve its lightness. Take a cooking class in Angeles and learn how to balance sour and salty flavors, or try sinigang with bangus at local eateries. Sinigang is enjoyed in 95% of Filipino households, according to the 2024 Food Survey. Then try lechon in Cebu, a crispy-skinned, tender-fleshed roasted pig that is often served at weddings and village festivals, with more than 10,000 pigs roasted each month in Cebu. Visit Carbon Market to learn how to make lechon from traditional chefs. In Aurora, Baylor Pastelas, sweet cow's milk candies are a local treat. Don't miss kakanin, layered rice cakes, at festivals in Bulacan. Food festivals like the Pampanga Food Fest attract over 100,000 diners and generate 2 billion pesos in revenue. Filipino cuisine is the taste of the soul, and from Pampanga to Aurora, it is a bridge to the island's culture. Would you rather cook sinigang in Pampanga or try lechon in Cebu? The Filipino people are the heart of the archipelago, with hospitality, resilience, and creativity that make up the country's vibrant vitality. In Samar, you'll meet artisans who make brooms from coconut fibers, producing more than 5,000 brooms a month, which are exported to Japan and Korea. You can take a broom-making workshop, learn how to weave coconut fibers, or hear the story of the wind god Habagat. The Samar Broom Weavers Cooperative supports more than 600 families, generating 300 million pesos in annual income. Then head to Masbate, where people make maguey rope for farming and fishing, producing more than 10,000 meters of rope a month. You can take a rope-making class, learn how to twist the fibers, or buy a souvenir. In Davao del Sur, the Bland people make copper jewelry, with mountain and river motifs, and share the legend of the land god Lulong. The Davao Tribal Fair attracts over 50,000 visitors and generates 400 million pesos in revenue. You can enjoy linatlot, bamboo rice, and watch Bland dance. The Filipino people are down-to-earth souls, from Samar to Davao, making up the heart of the island nation. Would you rather make brooms in Samar or twist ropes in Masbate? Filipino women are the bright lights that light up the culture and communities of the island nation. They are the banig weavers of Basi, Samar, who create buri mats with floral and wave patterns, exporting more than 2,000 mats a year. In Bukidnon, they grow corn in the hills, protecting the community's crops. On Coron, women run kayak tours, guiding tourists across Lake Barracuda. In Quezon, they craft bamboo products, creating intricate baskets and mats. During the Atiatahan festival, women lead dances, dressed in feathers, honoring the Santo Niño with great conviction. Despite the hardships, they remain resilient, as the coral reef protectors in Cebu or the night markets in Zamboanga, providing livelihood opportunities for more than 10,000 families. Filipino women are not only the keepers of the family fire, but also the warriors of culture, nature, and progress, creating the eternal beauty of the island nation. They are the champaka flowers, spreading their fragrance in the middle of the ocean, proud and indomitable. Filipino music is the melody of the soul, echoing from the mountains to the countryside, telling stories of love, homeland, and mythology. In the mountain province, you can hear day-and-day music, with its salabeo and soaring vocals, played during Cancanay ceremonies. Take a salabeo workshop, learn how to play the wooden drums, or hear the legend of the sky god Lumawig in the villages of Sagada. Day-and-day music is performed in more than 300 ceremonies each year, and is an intangible heritage of the Cordillera. Then there is the Panagdadapan Festival in Quirino, held in September, where bands play the gangsa, accompanied by Ilongit dances. Try your hand at the gangsa, or enjoy inatada, grilled meat on banana leaves. In Sulu, Tazig Gabang, with bamboo strings and tambal drums, reenacts the Sandeo epic. Take a Gabang class, learn how to play the bamboo lute, or listen to over 100 traditional songs. Filipino music is a living flame, from day-and-day to Gabang, bridging the past and present. Want to play salabeo in Sagada or dance Ilongit in Quirino? Filipino markets are a vibrant place of color, aroma, and the laughter of Filipino stories. In Davao, Bangkrohan Market is a haven for meringue fruit, suman, and tpoli bags. Try binankle, a sesame-fried pancake, take a tahuri-making workshop, or buy a beaded necklace as a souvenir. Bangkrohan Market serves more than 2 million visitors a year, generating 3 billion pesos in revenue. Then in Cagayan, Tuguegarao Market is where locals sell dried fish, bibingka, and ibanag fabric. Learn how to make an ataban, listen to Cagayan street performers, or enjoy pancit battle patong, fried noodles with eggs. In Romblon, Talapasac Market is where you'll find hipon sauce, odionon pottery, and ilong-ilong flowers. Try sirsa, fish cooked in coconut milk, or buy tabunga, a conical hat. Filipino markets are the soul of the community, from Bangkrohan to Talapasac, where you feel the Filipino pulse. Want to eat binankle in Davao or make an ataban in Cagayan? The Philippines is a wildlife haven, with forests and seas home to a myriad of species. In Bohol, the Baclayan Whale Sanctuary is home to Bride's whales and bottlenose dolphins, with over 200 recorded. You can join a whale-watching tour, help with a beach cleanup, or learn about marine ecosystems from scientists. Organizations like Bohol Whale Watchers protect over 20,000 hectares of marine waters to combat illegal fishing. Then in Palawan, Puerto Princesa National Park is home to peacocks and pangolins, with over 165,000 hectares of pristine forest. Trek through the forest, set up camera traps to capture animals, or hear the legend of the forest god Tawang Lipad. In Cagayan, Paloy National Park protects sea turtles and flying foxes. You can paddle across Sawangag Bay, explore mangroves, or take a conservation class. The Philippines has more than 300 sanctuaries, protecting 65% of its endemic species, a call to action for nature conservation, from Baclayan to Paloy. Want to whale watch in Bohol or trek in Palawan? Filipino festivals are a colorful mosaic of joy, faith, and community. In Nueva Ecija, the Tong Putic Festival in June honors San Juan Bautista with people covered in mud and banana leaves, parading through the streets, and more than 400 suman stalls. You can make leaf props, learn Ibanag dances, or feast on dinuguan, pig blood pudding. The festival attracts more than 100,000 visitors and generates 600 million pesos in revenue. Then in Aklan, the Kalibo Adi-Adahan Festival in January reenacts indigenous history, with Adi dancing and tambal drumming. You can make an Adi mask, try binako, bamboo chicken stew, or join the parade. In Sarangani, the Munita Festival celebrates bland culture with sarimanak dancing and agung gongs. You can learn to make beaded headdresses or eat linatlat, bamboo rice. Filipino festivals are the heartbeat of culture, from Tong Putic to Munatu, where you can feel the Filipino spirit. Want to dance Ibanag in Nueva Ecija, or make masks in Aklan? In the Philippines, jeepneys are not just a means of transportation, but also a vibrant cultural icon, adding to the vibrant urban landscape of cities like Manila, Cebu, and Davao. The jeepneys, with their unique designs and eye-catching colors, are a legacy from the post-World War II era, when American military jeeps were converted into public transport. Each vehicle is a mobile work of art, decorated with colorful drawings, funny slogans, or even images of movie stars and religious symbols. They not only reflect the personality of their owners, but also express the creative spirit and cultural pride of the Filipino people. In the heart of bustling Manila, jeepneys weave through the crowded streets, from the bustling Divisoria market to the quaint corners of Intramuros. The honking of horns, the smell of dust and smoke, and the pulsating sounds of Filipino pop music blaring from the speakers create a unique urban symphony. In Cebu, jeepneys connect coastal resorts with ancient temples, carrying both tourists and locals, creating a sense of closeness and familiarity. Meanwhile, in Davao, jeepneys have a modern feel, with neatly planned routes that reflect the city's dynamic development. Jeepneys are not just a means of transportation, but also a cultural bridge where people share stories, laugh, and even daily struggles. Despite the challenges of modern transportation and environmental regulations, jeepneys still hold a special place in the hearts of Filipinos. They are symbols of resilience, creativity, and solidarity. Sitting on a jeepney, you will feel the pulse of the Philippines, a colorful country where the past and present blend together, where every trip is a story. With jeepneys, Philippine cities are not just destinations, but a vibrant, engaging, and unforgettable journey. The history of the Philippines is an epic tale of resilience and national identity written in stone, earth, and hearts. Visit the Baluarte de San Diego in Intramuros, Manila, a Spanish fortress built in 1587 with 4-meter-thick stone walls and more than 2,000 colonial artifacts. Walk through ancient corridors, take a historical tour of the Spanish period, or hear the story of heroine Gabriela Silang. Then head to Vigan, Ilocos Sur, where the Bantay Church, built in 1590, is a symbol of the Ilocano resistance and welcomes more than 500,000 visitors a year. Learn about the Diego Silang Rebellion, visit a museum to see ancient paintings, or take a class in drawing freedom symbols. In Leyte, the MacArthur Memorial is a World War II memorial with more than 1,000 historical documents. You can join a workshop to make a model warship or learn about war. Philippine history is a golden history, from Baluarte to MacArthur, the pride of the island nation. Do you want to explore Baluarte or learn history in Vigan? Filipino folk art is a creative fire, preserving identity through every carving, thread, and color. In Pampanga, Batis village in Guagua is a center for woodworking, with saints and guitars carved from acacia wood, exported to more than 30 countries. Take a woodcarving workshop, learn how to carve angels, or visit a museum to see a 19th century guitar. Then in Iloilo, Molo village is famous for its mother-of-pearl mosaics, creating seascapes and floral paintings, selling more than 1,000 pieces a year. Learn to make mosaics, hear the legend of the sea god Maguayan, or buy a souvenir. In Zamboanga del Norte, Sindanon village creates Subanan pottery with snake and bird motifs, telling the story of the earth god Apu. Take a pottery class, try linyapungan, grilled fish in banana leaves, or watch Subanan dances. The Batis Woodcarvers Cooperative supports over 400 artists, generating $300 million in revenue each year. Filipino folk art is the soul of creativity, from Batis to Sindanon, bridging the gap between tradition and modernity. Would you rather carve wood in Pampanga or make mosaics in Iloilo? Philippines, the archipelago where nature, culture, cuisine, people, history, and art weave an everlasting epic. From Pagsanjan Falls to Tabataha, from Higantes to Tongputic, from Sinigang to Lechin, from Samar Brooms to Tpoli, from Baluarte to Molo mosaics, the Philippines is a journey that touches every dream. Filipino women, like champaka flowers, light the fire of culture and community. With over 7,641 islands, 175 languages, and 1,500 years of history, this island nation is a living canvas, waiting to be explored. What do you love most about the Philippines? Want to dive into Tabataha, dance in Higantes, or weave Tinalak? Leave a comment, share your Filipino dreams, like, share this video with friends and family, and subscribe to continue exploring magical lands. Less than an hour's drive from Manila, Sangay, a small settlement deep in the province of Cavite, appears like a forgotten world. A place that is rarely marked on city maps. A place of nameless streets, makeshift roofs made of rusting corrugated iron, and people who live as if they do not exist in the eyes of the rest of the country. Sangay is home to people rejected by life in the capital. They used to live in Tonda, in Payatas, then they were displaced, pushed far away from the center, to places with nothing but empty land and fragile hope. No stable electricity. No clean water. No health care. Every day here is a series of struggles with poverty, with disease, with social indifference. Children in Sangay play on the dusty ground, among debris and empty bottles. When it rains, the area turns into a sea of murky water, floating trash, and each small step wading through the water is a testament to resilience. When the sun comes up, the red dust from the parched ground covers everything from clothes to unfinished dreams. There are no proper schools, no playgrounds. Children grow up listening to their parents' stories, to their broken dreams of a different tomorrow. Here, people do not live to enjoy, they live to survive. But amid all this, Sangay still exists as a testament to resilience that cannot be extinguished. The people here do not need pity, they need a chance. A chance to no longer be forgotten. A chance to turn their days of living in misery into tomorrows of hope. Happyland, the name sounds like a fairy tale, but it is a bitter paradox in the heart of Manila. This so-called happy land is actually a poor settlement located on an old garbage dump, where the stench still lingers whenever the wind blows. There is nothing here that resembles happiness except the strong will to live of the people who fight to survive every day. In Happyland, there are no supermarkets, no hospitals, no proper schools. But there is always something bustling: the blazing charcoal stoves used to cook pag. These are pieces of fried chicken, fried meat, and leftover rice collected from restaurant trash bins, washed roughly, fried again, and sold to the poor people. A plate of pag costs only a few pesos, unimaginably cheap, but for many families, it is the main meal of the day. Children here grow up among trash and scrap metal. Bare feet tread on the rough ground filled with broken glass, eyes bolder than their age. They learn to sort plastic, copper, paper before they can read. But what haunts people is not just poverty, but resignation. Because for many people, Happyland is no longer a temporary place, but the only roof they have. People here still love, still marry, still have children and light up their dreams. A roof to protect against the rain, a stable job, a meal without worrying about illness, things that seem small but are more distant than ever. Happyland, with all its cruelty and fierceness, is still the world that thousands of people call home. And they live, not because they don't have a choice, but because they have never been given another choice. Under the yellow lights and the pungent smell of charcoal stoves, Tonda is not just a place name, but a pulse of forgotten Manila. It is a maze of alleyways, rusting tin roofs, and peeling brick walls that seem to cry out for help. Every step takes you into a slice of reality: naked children playing in black puddles, fathers fixing bikes on the side of the road, their eyes glued to every piece of loose change. Tonda is not a mere slum. It is a parallel world, just a few kilometers from the shiny glass buildings, but it seems to belong to another era. Here, the concept of space and privacy is a luxury. A room of less than 10 square meters can be an entire universe, with a stove, a bed, a bathroom, and sometimes even a grocery store. There are families of 6 or 7 people, living on top of each other through every rainy and stormy season, even through viral fevers with no money to buy medicine. Tonda used to be a name that made many people afraid. It was associated with gangs, violence, and abandonment. But behind that rough shell were thousands of quiet stories of people who did not give up. Mothers carrying their children to sell fish from early morning, fathers driving rickshaws all day without rest, and children barefoot, but with hopeful eyes still trying to go to school. They did not ask for much. They just wanted a chance to live decently and with dignity. Tonda is not just a poor place. It is a mirror of a society that is forgetting its weakest. And in that forgetting, there are still smoldering fires of life, resilient, silent. Hayata is a name that resounded throughout the Philippines in 2000, not because of a festival or a victory, but because of pain. The terrible landslide took the lives of hundreds of people, burying them under thousands of tons of decomposing waste. And now, 2 decades later, people thought that the place would be cleared, renovated, but no. Payatas is still the reluctant home of thousands of people, still a place where life thrives in trash, disease, and poverty. Here, life does not begin with an alarm bell, but with the siren of the garbage truck. People from strong men to 8-year-old children flock to the dump like a swarm of bees. Each person carries a sack or a homemade cart, looking for gold in the rubble, plastic, scrap metal, cardboard, or anything that can be sold. A kilo of plastic can be exchanged for a meal. A few cans of beer can be exchanged for a dengue vaccine for your child. Here, everything has a price except their own lives. The scorching Manila sun mixes with the stench, the toxic fumes from smoldering garbage piles, and flies and mosquitoes that swarm every inch of skin. Children, shoeless and maskless, learn to recognize the value of trash before they can even write their names. Every scratch on their hands is a reminder of the risk of infection, every cough a sign of an undiagnosed respiratory illness. Payatas is more than a place, it is a grim testament to the gap between rich and poor in the Philippines. A place where hope and danger coexist, and life, however fragile, stubbornly clings on. In the narrow alleys of Tonda, Payatas or Happyland, where light only filters through warped corrugated iron sheets, and the smell of garbage never leaves the air, women appear like torches burning silently in the dark night. No one gave them the strength. No one gave them the right to choose an easier life. But they still choose to stand up, not because they are not tired, but because if they fall, their families will have no one to support them. You can see them at dawn, carrying garbage bags to the dump, holding children in their arms, and carrying sacks on their backs. They boil pag-pag, leftover food collected from the dump, in the hope of selling it for a few coins or feeding their families. They wash clothes with rainwater, cook with honeycomb coal, and take care of their children in houses less than 10 square meters. Some are single mothers, abandoned or lost to violence, illness, or work accidents. But they still do not give up. They work as hired laborers, pick up trash, cook, sew, sell goods on the street, anything to feed their children. They are doctors when their children are sick, teachers when their children are learning to read, heroes when the family has no one else to turn to. The women here do not cry when they are injured, do not complain when they are hungry, they just hold their children's hands and say, "Tomorrow will be better." They do not need to be hailed as heroes, they just need to live in a society where justice does not ignore the poor. In the slums of the Philippines, women are not victims, they are the soul, the silent heartbeat that keeps life going in the most remote places. In the dark alleys and moss-covered walls, there are still hearts that refuse to give up. In places where people once thought there was only despair, there are seeds of hope planted by the people who live there. Not by magic, but by resilience, sharing, and a common dream, change. In Tonda, there were children who grew up without ever holding a book. But now, thanks to community scholarship programs, they have the opportunity to enter the classroom, their eyes lighting up when they see their names on the report card. Education has come as a gift, not only opening the door to knowledge, but also opening the door to the belief that I can be different. In Payatas, mothers who used to pick up trash have now learned how to organize and defend their rights. They are no longer alone. They have each other, and together, they create small groups, clean markets, and soft skills classes for women. These seemingly small things are changing the entire rhythm of life in a community. In every poor neighborhood, there is a Liza, a woman without a title, without much property, but with a strong heart and unshakable faith. They go door to door, organize meetings, connect with charity organizations, and bring light to the darkness. Therefore, although life is still difficult, hope never fades. It lives in every small action, every child's laughter, and every tireless step of ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. Smoky Mountain, the name sounds like a strange place, but in fact it is a painful legacy of Manila. This Smoky Mountain was once the largest garbage dump in the city, where thousands of tons of garbage were piled as high as a mountain, smoldering day and night. The government closed it long ago, but the traces of poverty, pollution, and neglect have never left. Now, the place that used to be a giant garbage dump has turned into a makeshift residential area, but don't mistake that for a better life. Rusty corrugated iron houses, rotten wooden boards, and torn plastic tarpaulins are crowded together on every square meter of barren land. In the middle of a city bustling with traffic and bustling with commercial centers, people here still live without stable electricity, clean water, and no faith that tomorrow will be better. Children still play by the black water, where rainwater, sewage and leachate mix into a toxic mixture. The older ones help their parents collect scrap, the younger ones learn to survive before they can read. Every meal is a gamble. Eat whatever you can find, as long as it fills your stomach. Adults, people who once dreamed of a better future, now only hope that their children do not have to continue this cycle. They diligently collect empty beer cans, scrap metal, intact cardboard boxes, things that the city throws away, but they collect them like gold. Women cook from firewood, from materials that others have thrown away. And every afternoon, they sit in front of their tents, looking up at the sky, where the sunset casts an orange glow over the old trash, but their hearts are not satisfied. Smoky Mountain, poverty and neglect, miracles are beginning to sprout, not from the big things, but from the smallest actions. A new clean water faucet installed in a Tonda alley. A tin-roofed classroom in Payatas. An empty lot in Smoky Mountain turned into a community vegetable garden. These seemingly insignificant changes are the foundation for hope to live, to learn, to dream. Where there was once only the smell of garbage, now there is the sound of children studying. Children who used to have to dig through garbage to make a living, now pick up pens and write their dreams on paper. I want to be a doctor to cure my mother. I want to be an engineer to build a new house for my father. Each of those simple words is a promise to the future. Women who once silently carried the burden of their families are now taking charge of their lives. They are learning how to run small cooperatives, how to stand up for their children, how to say no to violence and injustice. They are not only feeding their families, but also nurturing the spirit of their communities. And we, the people who tell these stories, are also contributing to change. Every time you share a video, listen to a story, or simply believe that someone deserves a better life, it is another fire lit in the darkness. We cannot eradicate poverty overnight. But thanks to the resilience of the people here, and the compassion of those who do not turn away, we can make the impossible a reality. A new day, a new life is just around the corner. Environmental pollution is becoming one of the most pressing issues in the Philippines, a country of more than 7,000 islands that faces serious challenges in air quality, water quality, and waste management. In major cities like Manila, the air is often thick with smog, partly due to heavy traffic, industrial plants, and widespread burning of household waste. Many poor residential areas do not have effective waste treatment systems, leading to waste being dumped into rivers, streams and sewers, causing blockages and generating foul odors all year round. One of the most obvious consequences is water pollution. Rivers like Pasig, once the lifeblood of Manila, have now become dead rivers with black water and a strong odor. Plastic waste floats everywhere, directly affecting the lives and health of millions of people, especially children and the elderly. Many coastal areas are also seriously threatened by ocean pollution, with hundreds of tons of waste dumped into the sea every day from land, destroying ecosystems and traditional fishing industries. In addition, climate change is making the situation worse. Storms are becoming more powerful, floods are more frequent, and each time the water recedes, piles of trash are washed up everywhere. Pollution is not just an environmental problem, but also a public health and social justice crisis. The solution cannot come from governments alone, but requires the cooperation of communities and individuals to protect the increasingly fragile living environment. You, the person watching this video, are not just a spectator. You are part of the story. A story that continues every day thanks to compassion, sharing, and acts of kindness. Whether it is just a share, an empathetic comment, or a small donation to organizations that are working closely with the people here, all can bring hope. Let names like Tonda, Payatas, Smoky Mountain, Happyland or Songi not just be symbols of hardship, but become living proof of resilience, of the spirit of overcoming adversity, and of the power of community. You don't have to do big things to make a difference. Sometimes, just a word, a comment is enough to make someone feel heard. Leave your thoughts below. What impressed you the most? What do you think we can do to help? Every word can spread. Don't just watch. Speak up. Let's shine the light together from heart to heart. Because change sometimes starts with a small comment. Hello, dear friend. Did you know that just a cup of warm water and some light exercises in the morning can help your body become healthier, reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and even cancer? And more importantly, help you have enough energy to watch the whole interesting video today. If you are ready, leave the number 1 and explore with me. Have you ever dreamed of a place with emerald green sea, majestic mountains and forests, smiling people and bustling festivals all year round? That is the Philippines, a beautiful tropical paradise in the heart of Southeast Asia. Don't forget to like, comment your thoughts below and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next exciting journeys. Whether modern or classic, all coexist harmoniously in the dynamic life of the people here. An interesting and colorful symbol of the Philippines is the jeepney, a public transport vehicle that was modified from the American military Jeep after World War II. Each jeepney is a unique work of art, decorated with bright colors, creative paintings and sometimes with flashing lights and funny sounds. However, what makes tourists love the most is the Filipino people. They are friendly, warm, and always willing to help strangers like family. Whether you are lost on a crowded street, or just looking for a small restaurant in the remote countryside, you will still receive sincere smiles and enthusiastic directions. The Philippines is not only a place of magnificent nature, but also a place that preserves an optimistic spirit, a harmonious culture, and a community that is ready to welcome you at any time. Filipino women have a beauty that is both traditional and modern, a harmony between the gentleness of the East and the liberal personality of the West. They often possess healthy brown skin, a sunny smile, and expressive eyes, very typical beauties of the tropics. But what makes the women here truly attractive is not only their appearance, but also their soul and the way they live. Filipino women are famous for being strong and independent, but still maintaining their femininity and sophistication. They are the pillars of the family, reliable companions, and also the image of silent sacrifice. Whether in the countryside or the city, you will always see the image of hardworking mothers, dynamic young girls, full of ambition and desire to rise up in life. In addition, they are very friendly and hospitable, always willing to help others with sincerity. That beauty, simple but profound, is what makes Filipino women lovable and admirable in the eyes of international friends. If you find the video interesting, please leave a number 1 in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to watch the latest videos. Philippine cuisine is a vivid picture reflecting the cultural exchange over the centuries. With a unique combination of indigenous flavors, Asian culinary quintessence, Spanish and American influences, the cuisine here is not only diverse but also has its own unique personality. One of the dishes considered the national soul of the Philippines is adobo, meat, usually chicken or pork, marinated with garlic, soy sauce, vinegar, black pepper and bay leaves, then braised until tender and flavorful. This is a popular dish in every Filipino family, both simple and delicious beyond compare. If you love a light, refreshing sour taste, sinigang is an option not to be missed. This is a soup cooked with sour tamarind, vegetables, tomatoes, and often accompanied by shrimp, fish, or pork. The mild sour taste of sinigang is very suitable for the hot and humid climate of the tropics. Another dish that makes tourists unforgettable is lechon, a whole roasted pig with crispy golden skin and soft, fragrant meat, often served at festivals or big parties. This dish is so famous that it is considered one of the best roasted pig dishes in the world. And for those who love sweets, halo halo, a cool dessert of shaved ice, condensed milk, sweet beans, fruit and ice cream will definitely beat the heat of the tropics. Philippine cuisine, simple but colorful, is a journey of cultural discovery with your taste buds that cannot be missed. For those who love adventure, Taal Volcano, located in the middle of a deep blue lake, will surprise you with its strange and impressive beauty. Mount Mayon, famous for its perfectly symmetrical shape like a cone, is an ideal place for trekking and admiring the breathtaking beauty of nature. And if you want to admire the wonderful intersection between man and nature, come to Bano Rice Terraces, a World Heritage Site known as the eighth wonder of the world. This place is not only beautiful but also carries the story of generations of indigenous people living in harmony with the land for thousands of years. The Philippines is one of the few countries in Asia that has a unique blend of Eastern and Western cultures. This combination comes from a history spanning hundreds of years under Spanish rule, followed by strong American influence. The result is a unique culture where one can find a clear convergence in architecture, religion, language, and daily lifestyle. Walking through big cities like Manila or Cebu, you will encounter images of ancient European-style churches nestled among bustling commercial centers. Next to them are modern buildings, trendy cafes, and bustling entertainment centers. The Philippines is an archipelago country located in Southeast Asia, in the Pacific Ocean, with a total area of about 300,000 square kilometers. With more than 7,600 islands, the country is surrounded by large seas such as the South China Sea to the west, the Philippine Sea to the east, the Sulu Sea, and the Celebes Sea to the south. The Philippines is located north of Indonesia and south of Taiwan, creating an important strategic position in the region. The capital Manila is located on Luzon Island, the largest island and also the economic and cultural center of the country. The geographical location and large area of the Philippines not only bring natural beauty with beautiful beaches and diverse marine ecosystems, but also play an important role in maritime trade and regional connectivity. The Philippines is not just beautiful, it is breathtakingly beautiful. This is a rare tropical paradise, where nature seems to be painted by the hands of the most talented artists. Just set foot in El Nido and Coron, two gems of Palawan province, you will immediately be enchanted by the crystal clear water, the majestic limestone mountains rising from the blue sea, creating a magical scene like a fairy tale dream. If you are a sea lover and enjoy exploring the world under the ocean, Apo Reef is definitely a destination not to be missed. This is one of the largest coral reefs in the world, where you can swim with sea turtles, tropical fish, and admire the rich and colorful ecosystem. In the Philippines, festivals are not just cultural events, they are an integral part of the spiritual life of the people. Almost every month of the year, you can see colorful festivals taking place across the islands. Each festival has its own story, reflecting beliefs, traditions, and gratitude to the land and sky. The most prominent is the Sinulog Festival in Cebu, one of the biggest festivals in the country. Visitors will be immersed in vibrant street dances, traditional costumes, and bustling drum beats that last all day and night. In Calibo, the Atiatahan Festival makes a strong impression with the image of people dressing up, painting their faces black and dancing as if to commemorate their ancestors and the indigenous Ati people. Meanwhile, the Pahiyas Festival in Lucban has a very unique charm. The whole town is decorated with vegetables, fruits, flowers to honor agriculture and express gratitude to the harvest. Festivals in the Philippines are not only colorful, but also contain a spirit of community bonding and joy of life that spreads to everyone. Philippines, a country of bright sunshine, salty sea breezes, friendly smiles, and cultural stories that never get old. From the wild natural beauty to the vibrant festivals, from the unique culinary flavors to the warm human affection, this place is an ideal stop for every soul who loves to explore. Whether you are an adventure enthusiast, longing to immerse yourself in the emerald seas, or simply looking for a peaceful place to temporarily leave the hustle and bustle of life, the Philippines always has something special for you. Every island, every smile, every street here contains wonders waiting for you to discover and feel. If you enjoyed today's journey, feel free to leave a comment sharing your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on other great destinations in the future. Thank you for joining me on this journey. See you on the next journeys, where we will continue to explore the colorful, authentic world and inspiring stories waiting to be told. The Philippines is a treasure trove of destinations that captivate every traveler, from the sea to ancient heritage. Head to Tabataha Reefs, Palawan, a UNESCO World Heritage Site with the world's third largest barrier reef, spanning 97,000 hectares, where you can scuba dive among more than 600 species of fish, 360 species of coral, and whale sharks. You can also join a 7-day live-aboard boat tour, learn about coral conservation, or stay in a floating hut. Tabataha welcomes more than 10,000 divers each year, contributing 500 million pesos to conservation. Then explore Caramon, Cameron Sur, an archipelago with more than 20 white sand beaches and limestone cliffs, made famous by the show Survivor. You can hike to Gata Cave, kayak through Matukad Island, or hear the legend of the Caramon Ferry. In Ilocos Norte, Paoe is home to the Suba Sand Dunes and the 17th century Paoe Church, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can go sandboarding, bike through Suba Village, or learn how to make bagnet sauce. The Philippines has more than 2,000 tourist attractions, employing 5.7 million people. Organizations like Tabataha Conservation protect more than 1,000 species of marine life, organize cleanups, and educate communities. Want to dive in Tabataha or hike in Caramon? The Philippines is a paradise for adventurers, where nature challenges and inspires. In Quezon, 2,170-meter-high Mount Banahaw is a trekking destination, with trails through mossy forests and hot springs. Camp by Dagum Falls, see hornbills, or hear the legend of the Banahaw god. Banahaw attracts more than 50,000 climbers each year and is a spiritual sanctuary. Then head to Palawan, on Busuanga Island, where you can cliff jump off Calawit's 15-meter-high cliffs, kayak across Coron Bay, or scuba dive past Japanese shipwrecks. Stay in a floating house and stargaze. In Agusan del Sur, the 20-kilometer-long Marsh de Wada is a mangrove maze filled with crocodiles and herons. Take a boat tour, abseil through ancient trees, or swim in the dark lagoon. Organizations like Banahaw Adventure Tours promote sustainable tourism, supporting more than 1,000 families. The Philippines has more than 1,500 adventure spots, generating 10 billion pesos in revenue. Want to climb Banahaw or go cliff jumping in Busuanga? Community-based tourism in the Philippines is a journey into the heart of culture, where people open their homes, share their stories and ways of life. In South Cotabato, the Tpoli village of Lake Cebu invites you to harvest rice, learn to make tnalik fabric from a dream, or play the hegilong with bird motifs. You can stay in a stilt house, cook seslong, grill fish in banana leaves, and hear the legend of the lake god Lemlene. The Tpoli community produces more than 5,000 meters of tnalik fabric each year, exporting it to Europe. Then in Camarines Norte, the Parcale community of Vinzons runs artisanal gold mining tours, teaching you to pan for gold in the river or make silver bracelets. You can camp on Labo Beach, participate in a mountain worship ceremony. In La Union, the village of San Juan organizes surfing tours, where you can learn to make a surfboard, hike through rice paddies, or enjoy kilawan, raw fish pickled in vinegar. Projects like Tpoli Homestay support over 3,000 households, preserving culture and the environment. Community-based tourism in the Philippines is about sharing, from Lake Cebu to San Juan, where you become part of a Filipino family. Would you rather weave Tnalik in South Cotabato or pan for gold in Camarines? The history of the Philippines is an epic tale of resilience and national identity written in stone, earth, and hearts. Visit the Baluarte de San Diego in Intramuros, Manila, a Spanish fortress built in 1587 with 4-meter-thick stone walls and more than 2,000 colonial artifacts. Walk through ancient corridors, take a historical tour of the Spanish period, or hear the story of heroine Gabriela Silang. Then head to Vigan, Ilocos Sur, where the Bante Church, built in 1590, is a symbol of the Ilocano resistance and welcomes more than 500,000 visitors a year. Learn about the Diego Silang Rebellion, visit a museum to see ancient paintings, or take a class in drawing freedom symbols. In Leyte, the MacArthur Memorial is a World War II memorial with more than 1,000 historical documents. You can join a workshop to make a model warship or learn about war. Philippine history is a golden history, from Baluarte to MacArthur, the pride of the island nation. Do you want to explore Baluarte or learn history in Vigan? Filipino folk art is a creative fire, preserving identity through every carving, thread, and color. In Pampanga, Batis Village in Guagua is a center for woodworking, with saints and guitars carved from acacia wood, exported to more than 30 countries. Take a woodcarving workshop, learn how to carve angels, or visit a museum to see a 19th-century guitar. Then in Iloilo, Molo Village is famous for its mother-of-pearl mosaics, creating seascapes and floral paintings, selling more than 1,000 pieces a year. Learn to make mosaics, hear the legend of the sea god Maguayan, or buy a souvenir. In Zamboanga del Norte, Sindanon Village creates Subanan pottery with snake and bird motifs, telling the story of the earth god Apu. Take a pottery class, try linyapungan, grilled fish in banana leaves, or watch Subanan dances. The Batis Woodcarvers Cooperative supports over 400 artists, generating $300 million in revenue each year. Filipino folk art is the soul of creativity, from Batis to Sindanon, bridging the gap between tradition and modernity. Would you rather carve wood in Pampanga or make mosaics in Iloilo? Philippines, the archipelago where nature, culture, cuisine, people, history, and art weave an everlasting epic. From Pagsanjan Falls to Tabataha, from Higantes to Tongputic, from Sinigang to Lechin, from Samar Brooms to Tpoli, from Baluarte to Molo mosaics, the Philippines is a journey that touches every dream. Filipino women, like champaka flowers, light the fire of culture and community. With over 7,641 islands, 175 languages, and 1,500 years of history, this island nation is a living canvas, waiting to be explored. What do you love most about the Philippines? Want to dive in Tabataha, dance in Higantes, or weave Tnalik? Leave a comment, share your Filipino dreams, share this video with friends and family, and subscribe to continue exploring magical lands.